But
Ladies
I
and
literally
gentlemen,
just reposted it.
That's so funny. I like that intro though. Okay, keep going, Jacob.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, take a seat and relax as we take you on another journey through another movie torture. Let's check in as MTD designs the first ever indestructible Porsche. Brad is teaching Ashley to drive, and let's just say it's not going so well. And Jacob starts to get sensitive over a 1983 Cadillac. It's time to be gone in 60 seconds.
Ooh, if only this movie could have been gone in 60 seconds.
What?
Why was it made? Like, why was it made?
And I just want to start this right off on the pod just to get things really like just percolating. Angelina Jolie made this movie. Without her in this movie,
Okay.
this movie.
I love trolling Ashley. That's such a troll job.
It's so evil. Like, it's evil. I think she's very talented, but I don't want to watch her on my screen, whether it be my phone screen, my television screen, or any screen. I just don't want to see her.
Ashley, is it too soon for us to tell you that January, which you are going to do every movie, and it's called Jolie January. We're going to do all Angelina Jolie movies. We're going to convert you to a Jolie super fan.
No, you won't. But here's the thing: she is in some great movies that I like, but then after I developed my like hatred for her, I can't really watch them. And I think I just want to make it clear, this has nothing to do with her talent. I think she's talented, but I don't want to watch her ever.
Okay, where did this Jolie backlash happen?
Within the last year. It's recent. It's recent. We've had our ups and downs. I used to love her, and now I tolerate her.
But she hasn't even been in a movie in a year. She hasn't been in a
Forever.
Hollywood movie in like 10 years, right?
Mazel.
I mean, she has not been a thing since early 2000s.
No, that's not.
That's not true?
The last movie I
came
can
out
remember.
in like 2010 or something.
What
I
did?
watched that in theater,
Salt.
and I liked it.
Saul was good. Changeling.
That movie is so good, but it's terrifying. Wait, what is he saying?
Laura says, I don't think I could suffer through a Jolie January.
No, for the love of God, I agree with Laura. Like, no. The thing is, it's unfortunate because I do like her movies, but it's hard for me to, I don't know, let's get John Voight up in here. I'd watch him.
I do like John Voight, but Hollywood said no to him, right?
Wait, they did? Why?
Yeah, because he's a conservative. They don't like him in Hollywood, so he doesn't get like roles anymore. I don't think he does.
You know what? What movie did I see? What did I see with Dennis Quaid? I saw Reagan. Is that what it was? Reagan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't see why Hollywood has to like not work with people that happen to believe something that they don't believe.
Is he in Reagan? Is he in Reagan?
Dennis Quaid.
Oh, not John Voight. John Voight's
No,
not.
but I'm just saying, like, Dennis Quaid is getting, like, Brad, you and me talked about how Dennis Quaid is getting the boot from Hollywood because he is conservative.
Oh, he definitely is. He doesn't
Actually,
care
you know
though.
what I will
He's
say
got so
about
much
Reagan?
money.
It was a good movie. He was great in it, but it was like an hour too long.
Did it pass? It passed the 90-minute threshold that I.
Actually, I don't think it passed the 90-minute threshold. It was just very long, in my opinion.
It didn't last 90 minutes, but it felt longer. Oh man.
I think it was like an hour 20, but like it felt long. I'll say that.
It was you told me you were like, this movie was so long when I asked you about it. It was only an hour. I gotta look this
But
up.
I think it was like, it felt really long because remember I told you there were like 20 minutes of ads before the previews. So we sat through 45 minutes of ads and then previews and then the movie. So at the end of the movie, we were like, is it still the world out there that we know?
Flat
Earthers February.
MTD's in the house. Good to see MTD. MTD, will you check the length of Reagan? How long is the movie Reagan? We want to know that. The new Reagan movie, not the old one. the new one that just came out.
What's the old one?
Wasn't there an old like mini series about Reagan? I'm pretty sure there was. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Check out and let us know how long Reagan is. I'm curious. Jacob, it's good to be on the show. We haven't even said what movie we're doing yet.
I know.
Yeah.
It is great to be on the show.
Well, and we're joined by the second lady of movie torture, Ashley, who hosts Lots of Laughs on. Okay, is she? Okay, does she guest on Lots of? Oh, he said 2 hours 21 minutes. Ashley,
Oh, that is long.
So it actually was an hour too long.
It was.
You must have been making out with the hubby half of that
That
time,
was
and
it.
just
That was it.
Reagan seems like a real heavy makeout movie.
Yeah, very
it's-
romantic.
So I went on a date. I was in high school. I'd never kissed a girl before, and I was
High
like,
school?
yeah, no, never kissed a girl before, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this girl on a date, and we went to see Forrest Gump.
I love you, Jenny.
That's a good movie.
It was. I was 15. I'm like, you know what? This is the movie where I'm gonna kiss a girl,
Mhm.
and we made it. I think it got to the scene where he's like, I love you, Jenny, when they're at the grave and Jenny's dead. And he's like, come here, little Forrest. And I'm like, look, it's make or break at this point. Somebody, either I'm not kissing her or I'm kissing her. And then I went in for the smooch. It wasn't a great one. It was a short smooch, but I went in for the smooch at the grave scene, which is weird.
Well, I think kissing in a movie is weird anyway. Like, why is that considered? Why is dinner in a movie considered like date night? You don't talk during the movie, so like
Exactly.
you can't get to know each other.
Well,
And the kissing in it, it's like, how do you like? I don't know.
Well, my wife was like a few years ago. I don't know if I've told you this, Jacob. I hadn't told you, Ashley. My wife was like, "I planned this a date, Brad." I'm like, "Oh, great! You planned a date. This is gonna be fun." She's like, "We're gonna go to a float tank," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's different." She's like, "Yeah, you get in there, you get butt naked." I'm like, "Oh, this date's gonna be great." I'm like, "Wow, we're getting naked on our date, man. This is gonna be awesome." But not in the same room, honey. Not in the same room, Brad. I'm like, whoa. So we go to this float tank, and I have to go to a room by myself and get in this float tank in the dark with no music for 1 hour. It was the worst. I'm telling you. She enjoyed it because she likes to relax like that. I can't turn my brain off, so I'm just laying there naked on a date, not even around my wife. It was weird.
Is the water warm or?
Yo, yeah, you float in salt. It's like full of salt, and they close the pod, so you're like in a pod, and you're just sitting there floating for an hour.
And there's no music?
For the first 10 minutes, they have music to get you acclimated. Then the music goes, it turns off, and then for the last 10 minutes, it comes on to let you know it's about time to get out and take a shower because you got your own shower and put your clothes back on.
That's weird.
I chose to leave them off. I walked in the lobby naked and like, hey, man, I'm doing something on this date.
They said you got to be gone in 60 seconds.
Yes.
Yes.
But MTD said the point. I don't understand what he means by that.
Like
the point
now
of
that-
story.
Now that we all have that
Yeah,
visual,
there was no
we can.
point, MTD. I was rambling, but yeah, we're doing Gone in 60 Seconds. And there is a point, MTD. If you've watched Gone in 60 Seconds, there is a makeout scene in this movie that is rather gross. And we will get to that, right, Jacob?
We definitely will get that because there's way more to that scene.
Yeah.
I didn't get to that scene.
You didn't get to that scene, Ashley, but we did. We as your host of this show, we watched it so you didn't have to. And
Thank you. I mean, I watched about 40 minutes to an hour of it, maybe we'll call it 50 minutes. And I love Nicolas Cage.
well, we're
Well,
going to talk
first-
about that too. Yeah, but there's a
Brad's
big
synopsis.
well, hold on. There's a big gap between 40 minutes and an hour. I like how she goes, I watched between 40 minutes and an hour. There's a big gap there, Ashley.
By the time we're done,
Last
she's
I
like,
looked-
"Okay, I got through the opening credits."
I watched him jack the
Wait,
first
those
car.
credits are long though.
They are
Oh my
super long.
gosh, they're
It's
so
very
long.
credit. I thought I was getting off the hook. Like, oh, the credits are half the movie. This will be a breeze.
They are so long. The song started getting stuck in my head. So like halfway through the movie, I'm just singing that theme.
But I think the last I looked at the time, it was 40 minutes in, and then I kept it on for a little bit, and then finally I was like, well, you know, I'm not gonna get through this, so why torture myself?
She threw the white flag up. But I was gonna ask this before we get to it. Is Ashley gonna be more famous for being on Movie Torture or hosting Locks of Laughs? That's the big question we want to know.
I'm gonna be hated for being on Movie Torture, but I'll get famous.
You're gonna be loved. MTD loves you on here, Ashley. He loves you on here. I'm just saying.
MTD.
Yeah, he loves you on here. But he has to say that. He loves everyone except
just-
Jacob.
It's just now turned into our thing of what movies now can we torture Ashley and force her to watch?
Yeah.
Give me like a good movie, guys. Come on, I just want one. Good
We
one.
threw some great movies your direction.
Yeah, but the ones I said I would watch, you gave to other people.
Yeah, we did. The point. Anyway, quick synopsis. Ashley's co-star from The Runner is
I had one scene with him.
is a retired car booster whose brother can't boost cars. He gets caught doing everything. He gets caught by the bad guys. Then they crush him and the booster is called out of retirement and he has to rob 60 cars in one night. No, 50 cars
50.
one night. And they got 3 days and he goes, you know what? We're going to do it in a night. And they're like, whoa, we can't do that, Memphis. And he's like, oh, yeah, we can. I'm Ashley's co-star from The Runner. I can do anything.
40 minutes into the movie and I still didn't know the synopsis. So
Well, so they go out and these cops are after them. And then the cops find the list. They're out boosting the cars. And they almost boost it. They boost the last one, but he's 12 minutes late. And the guy's like, I'm just going to kill you then. And he's like, no, you ain't going to kill me. And then he ends up saving the cop. And the cop's like, I have a decision to make. Do I turn you in or do I let you go? And it's terrible acting. And he goes, it's your decision, but I'm casting The Runner. I'll be doing that next. And he's like, I'm going to let you go. He said, don't make me say it twice. And then he runs because he's running to The Runner. And then they have a cookout and they celebrate all the cars they boosted in one night with no charges and lots of damage
Yes.
to everything. That is gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah, there's just so much to this.
Yeah, Jacob, unpack it. First, MTD, do you have like a budget for this movie and what it made at the theater? Because,
$1.50.
oh, Ashley, I went to the theaters and saw this.
I've seen this in the theaters.
Okay,
Oh.
$19.50.
Because you got to understand, back in the day, Angelina Jolie was a dream. She was hot.
Oh, she's still hot. No, I'm not.
She's
I'm
not hot
gonna
in this
lie.
movie. She is not hot in this movie at all.
But she's
She's gross.
no denying she's a beautiful woman to this day. I am not going to deny that. I just, it's so unfortunate. She's in so many of my favorite movies. She's
You
a
still
very
haven't said
talented
why you
actress.
don't like her. She was married to that abuser, Brad Pitt.
That's very true.
Like, she's a survivor.
Well, I am not commenting on that because that's none of my business.
Yeah.
But
Kristen Burt, our entertainment reporter for Hopecast Network, talks about how Brad Pitt's a douche. Just saying.
I don't. I'm not negating. I wouldn't negate that. There's just something.
Did you see that budget, Ashley? $90 million.
You see what this movie made?
237. That's not good, right? I mean, that's good, but not great.
I mean, that's pretty decent for
budget. That's
in the early 2000s. That's pretty
Yeah, I
decent.
guess that's good. Why was there not a sequel to this movie?
Giovanni Ribisi said no.
I don't think there was ever meant to be a sequel.
Scientology told him no.
There was never meant to be a sequel. They went about life happy.
They should have set it up. I think there was rumors to be a sequel for this movie, and I think they were going to call it "Gone in 30 Seconds."
Gone to the
just like
retirement home.
Gone in an hour and a half.
I think Nick Cage at this point would come back for a Gone in the 60 Seconds sequel, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think if I asked him to come to like my brother's birthday party for a one-man routine, he'd probably do it.
You're just talking about the movie he was in. What was that? What was the name of that movie?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Where he plays himself. What's the name of that? And he goes to a
talented something. Oh my God, what's the name of it? Wait, I'll get it. He's on my phone right now. What is it? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes, that's a good movie. Ashley, can you believe this is the first Nick Cage movie we've ever done on Movie Torture?
I guess because he has pretty amazing movies, but not no, not all, but not the one.
We're gonna do that one on Movie Torture. That should be our 100th episode.
It should be.
Yeah, I guess I am surprised a little bit. I guess, but he's an American treasure.
He's the same guy in every movie. He's the same kind of actor.
Except in Longlegs. I just recently watched that.
Is that good? I want to watch it.
No.
It's not good?
No, and here's the thing.
You're a horror buff, so
not only am I a horror buff, but the scarier, the better. I'm one of those people. Like, I will sign a waiver to go to a haunted house if I have to.
Wow.
And I did actually, but this movie, it wasn't scary, first of all, and his performance was amazing. All of the performances were great, but the ending, I didn't feel they gave any wrap up, and it was it was confusing, but I wouldn't watch it again. But I'm glad I saw it.
That movie is hyped. I mean, it has been hyped.
The performances are great. The acting is incredible by everybody. Everyone's phenomenal. It's just I had a hard time focusing. I was a little bored.
Oh gosh. Well, that stinks. I was really gonna
watch it. I mean, if anything, you can appreciate the talent that everybody has in the movie.
The massively, what is it?
The unbearable
talent. Wait a
massive.
MTD wants to know: is he really broke?
I have no idea. I mean, I heard, but
I like how MTD asks as if you're his accountant.
Yeah, like I met him once a decade ago when I played his waitress in a movie, and my name was Waitress. In a movie.
Ashley, we need to know his financials right now. Is he broke?
Guys, let me just
text Nick Cage and ask him. Actually, he's filming. Oddly enough, this could be his biggest role in a long time. He is filming. Yep, there it is. Spider-Man Noir.
Oh yeah, I heard. I saw photos of that
for Amazon. So he's gonna be in a Spider-Man show. So this could be a big deal for him, I would think. Whose career is
Nicolas Cage? He's a massive movie star.
He is. Okay, whose career right now is looking better on the up? Him or Tom Hanks?
Well, I would say Nicolas Cage because I'm not sure when Tom Hanks had like a down.
I think he's been in a slump for a while. Jacob and I have talked about this off air. He's been in a slump. He's in a really turd movie now. It's not doing anything, and he's calling out the critics.
I've heard that it's not, that critics aren't enjoying it. I would give that a watch, though. I mean, I think you have to go into it knowing you're going to cry hysterically.
Really? See, I don't. Me and Jacob were talking the other day. I don't even think that movie could be on worst of the year because what could we literally talk about when the whole movie is just a scene of the living room?
Once, yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, isn't
so he was still sitting in the living room an hour and a half in?
Well, yeah, that's a play. That's a play.
It really.
That's what a play is.
But we haven't done plays here, nor have we done cartoons or musicals. Although
We should do musicals.
Jacob is saying, and you might as well prepare for this because I think it's going to happen.
Hmm.
We're going to be doing Worst of the Year in January, as always, our annual Worst Movies of 2024.
Hmm.
Joker 2 is going to be on that list.
No, no. Oh, fine.
Yes.
Do what you want.
Yeah, and it's a musical. It's a musical. And I've told Jacob the only way I'm watching it is if him and I watch it together.
We will. And you're going to watch it and you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, that way I know he'll buy it.
Those performances. Joaquin Phoenix is like another, like, I don't even know what echelon that performance could be.
Good or bad?
He's good. He's an amazing, incredible talent. And Lady Gaga is an amazing, incredible talent.
They say it's one of the worst movies ever made.
So here's the thing. I only saw the first one. I haven't seen the second one. The first one was vilely upsetting. Like I was like, I was so upset because my husband and I thought we were going in and watching a superhero movie. And like 10 minutes in, we quickly realized it was not that. So I'll watch the second one if I'm on that episode. Oftentimes, if I say I don't want to watch that movie, you'll make me be on that episode.
Yeah. So now she's agreeing, so we won't make her.
Yeah.
I like that. So she's doing what I would do with my kids. Reverse psychology.
They're two. There's a piece of hair in my face. They're two incredibly talented human beings. Like I saw Lady Gaga in A Star Is Born is phenomenal.
I read an article, and we're not even talking about 60 seconds. I'm going to throw this in. I read an article where a guy's in this movie, and he said they were working on the movie, and they were looking at each other, actors, going, what is this movie even about? This is going to be the worst movie ever. Like, these are people in the movie. They're like, MTD says it's made almost $300 million. Yes, it has. Not domestically, though. If you look at how much it's made in America, it's compared to the original, which made, what, $600 million? I mean, it made a boat. They backed that Brinks truck up.
Yes.
Like, I don't think it's nearly as good. People say Joker 2 is not good, and it's got 18 musical numbers in it, which I think is a big turnoff to people who want to watch a violent action movie.
Well, right. If that's what they want, then sure. I mean, I love musicals, but I don't.
58
only
million.
50. Oh wow, that's a big.
Yeah.
That's a big.
And I read online that it's not even selling on video on demand. It's not even. People aren't even renting it now online. We might be the first ones to rent it, Jacob. You and I.
We probably will be.
They'll probably flag us for being losers. Look at these losers. We got two losers renting Joker 2. Let's get back to this movie, by the way. We're people have listened to hear about us talk cars and car thievery, and that's what we're going to do. So my question is, Ashley, you saw this part. When they boost the first car, they jump through the dealership glass. Why is there no damage on said car?
Well, first you got to get to the best part of that first is when he's like, hold on, I got to get my tool. And he goes in the trunks and pulls out a brick. He's like, that's not a tool, it's a brick. And in the middle of this very busy street, just heaves this brick through the window. No one's called the police. They're just like, eh.
Yeah, I feel like if it was made today, like Ashley would be outside with her iPhone, just like filming it.
Yeah, for sure. I would have.
These idiots.
Now that I mentioned that, I just thought of this. He smashed the window out to go in. Why did they smash a new window driving out?
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah, actually, that is a good point.
Maybe that's his calling card. Oh, it's two glass breaks. I know who this guy is. It's River. It's Memphis Reign's brother.
But like you said, no damage to this car whatsoever as they come flying out this window, over the curb, all over the street. I've
hit mailboxes with my car and had more damage than they had busting out at full speed out of this dealership's glass. You would think shards of glass would hit them at some point.
Some point.
Yeah,
Yeah, no one had anything on them, no cuts,
No.
nothing.
nothing. There is no bodily harm in this movie. I almost think at the end of the movie they should put us one of those little, you know how they say there's no animals harm? There was
Yeah.
no bodily harm in this movie at all. It should put that little.
Not necessarily
Except
true.
for when
Nicolas Cage gets beat up by Master P.
Okay, no death.
Oh,
No
that's
death in
right.
this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
He does. And that guy and that young kid gets shot in the movie.
Wait,
That's
but
right.
when Nicolas Cage gets beat up, he the Master P comes to him and goes says hello, and Nicolas Cage goes like, I don't know you, and then he goes, oh, you know me, and then Nicolas Cage goes, ah, yes, Master P.
Now it's all coming back.
Yes, now I recognize you. I didn't, but
Well-
it was just it's so funny. Oh, you
I
know
was-
what bodily harm? When Giovanni Ribisi makes Nicolas Cage breakfast. What was that?
Oh, yeah.
They focused so much on.
They
the
really
making of
did
that
get real
breakfast.
heavy on that breakfast. Yeah. As he dumps a whole bottle of salt into
Oh,
it.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I was thinking about Ashley because she likes to cook. And I was like, man, she's probably just hating this scene. Like,
The thing is, I liked that's one of the few scenes I liked because I like the sound of like sizzling oil. So I actually really enjoyed that scene.
As Nicolas Cage almost dies eating it.
Well, yeah, but the sodium intake was probably
oh,
severe.
was that acting or did he really? Because he was like,
That's pretty good acting.
I mean, I'm sure it was acting, but in the same token, I will say that like set food behind the scenes, Crafties is amazing, like delicious food. You can get like amazing, but on screen, food is usually like it's been sitting there for hours, so it's probably not good anyway.
but Giovanni Ribisi, has Scientology warped him so much that he can't fix a normal breakfast?
I actually wait. So this is was he in Scientology at
Oh,
this
he's
point?
still in Scientology.
No, but I mean back then, because
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's been in Scientology with Jason Lee, who's been on our show before. They were best friends. If you ever watch My Name Is Earl, he
Yeah.
shows up on that show.
Wait, Jason Lee is Earl, right? On
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first movie I ever did that got me my SAG card, he was in, and I was an extra.
What was
I
it?
had like one little line. It was called Cop Out.
Oh, with
with
Kevin
Bruce
Smith?
Willis.
The Kevin Smith movie? Yeah,
Kevin Smith in that.
that's Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis and
Willis,
Tracy
Tracy Morgan.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, there's so much
Tracy
drama
Morgan
from that movie.
is so nice. Like he's just like a nice dude. Actually,
Was-
everybody on that set was pretty nice. Now that I think about it.
Was Bruce Willis nice?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't interact with him, but he did. There was I never noticed any. No one was really angry or like being diva-ish. None of them. No one.
Because there's like a long like history with that movie because I've read it. Like Kevin
Oh,
Smith
the
loved
name changed. Yeah.
No. Kevin Smith loved Bruce Willis. Like he loved Bruce Willis. He cast Bruce Willis in this movie, and now he goes. He went. I mean, he tells everyone Bruce
yeah, he
Willis, biggest d bag. I'd never work with him again. Unfortunately, luckily Bruce can't remember it now. But
Whoa.
back
No,
then,
yeah, I do remember hearing that, but you have to remember I was an extra. So
if I watch this,
I
can we
didn't-
find you in this movie? Will we see
Yeah,
you?
you'll see me. You'll see
Where?
Me. I'm in the wedding scene where Michelle Trachtenberg gets married. That's Bruce Willis's daughter.
Did you meet Harriet the Spy?
No, I didn't meet. The only one I didn't meet any of them, but the only one I got to like kind of interact with was Tracy Morgan because I was at Crafties, and I was like grabbing a pretzel. I love pretzels, by the way, and I love them. And I was grabbing a pretzel, and Tracy Morgan comes up behind me and he says, like, "Did you know they have lemon pastries here?" And I just said, "No, I did not know that. That's really great news for the people that love lemon pastries." And then that was like our interaction. He said, like, we have to tell people. So he's like calling his friends over saying they have lemon pastries, and then he grabbed some and left. It was really nice.
This was pre-car crash Tracy
Yes,
Morgan.
yes.
Okay, so that's
like
I gotta watch this.
2009.
I want to see this scene now with you in it. We've got to watch this, Jacob. I'm gonna find the cop out scene. MTD. We need to find this. And what does a day extra make in Hollywood? Like, you were there for how many hours?
A long time. But the thing is, I had one line, so I was like I was like a glorified like one-liner, but my one line was cut from the movie. So I wasn't technically an extra. I had a contract because I
Oh.
had one line that I said to Michelle Trachtenberg
I
on
thought
the way down the aisle.
I thought your line was cut. I was like,
It was
oh
cut.
no!
Mine
I
was
thought
cut.
your line was cut in the movie. Like I would see you say
No.
cut in the movie. I was like, oh, that's her line. MTD, you thought that's what she meant too, right?
My line was something like good luck, congratulations and good luck or something. And that it was cut though. But you see me like in the movie going like, and then just cut.
I'm watching this now. Jacob, we're watching Cop
We'll
Out
look it up.
again. Can we watch it? Is it on Tubi? It's got to be on Tubi, right?
I
It's
have
a-
no idea actually, but I
it's
know
a-
it was on the plane for a while because my dad would watch it.
I want to see you in this movie. Anyway, back to the other movie we're talking about. So they then get caught because Giovanni Ribisi gets caught doing everything, and him and Earl are not friends anymore. By the way, I don't think they associate.
Why? Because Earl is no longer in Scientology?
Yes, they cut you off. So
I see.
no more
actually-
Earl friends. That whole show was full of like I think Juliette Lewis was on Earl some. She's a Scientologist. They're all Scientologists.
Juliette Lewis is a Scientologist?
Yes,
Can you send me a list of all the active Scientology members?
I will. I will find one and send. You know, Danny Masterson's the biggest, and he's in prison. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's in prison.
Yes.
So Tom Cruise probably the biggest. Tom Cruise and Will Smith are probably the biggest.
Will
like-
Smith is a Scientologist? What
I
are you
think he
talking
is.
about?
I think
Yes,
he
he
is a Scientologist. He's not openly admitted, but I think he is a Scientologist.
No, he's come out. He's openly.
He really?
he's a
Oh,
Scientologist.
and he is a Scientologist. Kirstie Alley was one before she
She was one.
died.
I knew that. I knew that.
Um,
Tom Cruise.
Jenna Elfman is a Scientologist. The girl Laura Pepron from Seven.
Prepon.
She's a Scientologist. She's big in. There's a lot of Scientology on the '70s show. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
There's
I guess so.
yeah. It hasn't infiltrated movie torture though, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so now they got to go find Memphis. And Jacob, where's Memphis working? This guy's the best car booster this side of the Mississippi River.
First, you
where's
would
he at?
think this guy would have some money saved up, but no, he's working at some podunk gas station in the middle of nowhere, training kids how to be go-kart racers. That's his big gig nowadays. Which is funny because a little later he talks about how he's sending money to his mom to take care of. I'm
Yeah.
like, how much money are you making by training kids to run go-karts?
And the mom is in the diner,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I would say is Memphis like is he putting the ads out on Craigslist? Train your kid to race go karts. I need you just to pay me. And then they show up and he's like, this guy's definitely got a van, and he's definitely gonna take my kid. There's no way I'm leaving my kid there. No way.
This could be no bigger than a town of like 50 people. So I'm sure he just stood out there with the sign wearing a sandwich board saying, come learn how to race a go-kart.
He
Well-
hung one piece of paper that said, "Call this number for."
That's
more
right.
information."
Well, see, that's the thing. Like every time I've raced go karts, because I did like to go to like go kart tracks at like the beach or something. I always race them, and I think I could do this for a living. I could just drive these go karts, but it's not something you really want to do. Like you don't.
No,
An hour
it's
later,
fun.
you're like, "What was I thinking? I'm not going to be a go kart racer." Like, how is he making a career of this? And I gotta say, man, when they came, I'd been like, I guess my brother is going to just die. I mean.
Well, what's funny too is because how quickly, number one, we got to get to that scene. Like that is such a pivotal scene where they're crushing the brother in this car. It is basically pancaked flat, but yet he still survives and unscathed, no nothing. Like
Yeah.
by
Wait.
the time
Did I
they,
see that part?
You should. It was like really early in the movie.
If you didn't, you watched 5 minutes of this movie.
So they
I
put.
was
They,
not paying attention.
okay, so they put his brother in like this Camaro, and they put him in a car crusher, and then Memphis comes
Oh,
along,
yeah, yeah.
and they're like, "You got 30 seconds to decide if you're going to steal these cars for us or not," and it's slowly crushing him. Well, by the time he agrees to do it, they show the car, and the roof is basically level with the car, like, but yet the brother is still okay. He's just hanging. He's just fine.
He's like, "Don't worry, guys. I'm a contortionist, and I figured it out."
I mean, basically.
Yeah, he would be so dead. How did they would even open the car door to get him out? That's the
Right.
You know,
call the fire department for the jaws of life. We gotta cut this guy out of his car.
I need you to take him out. I was about to kill him, but I need you to. His brother Memphis has decided to steal 50 cars from me, so he's living now. I'm going to make wood. I made casket for him already. That's what.
I thought he had a different accent in the movie, but we'll go with that one.
We're gonna go with my terrible accent. I got my SAG card by doing this accent on Movie Torture.
And then he goes to his mom to explain to her that he's got to get her. And for someone who wanted him out of this life and never wanted to back in, she flipped real quick. She's like, "You do whatever you have to do. Go save
Yeah,
my
she
boy."
was like, "You're important, but my second born is a little bit more, so you should protect him at all costs."
My loser son, you need to save him. You can die.
Right.
You've lived a good 38 years, Memphis. This kid's 22. I want him around for another 16 years. Then he can die.
Is that what older brothers do, though? Realistically, like, don't older brothers protect their younger brothers? Like, I feel
They're
like if I
supposed to.
came to my brother and I was like, "Someone's going to kill me unless you do XYZ." Honestly, we'd probably just call my dad, and my dad would take care of everything. But like, my brother would do everything in his power to protect me.
But his younger brother is so ungrateful. The whole
Yeah, very
entire movie.
ungrateful. That's true. I got
He
that
is-
far in to know he's ungrateful.
Yeah, you know who would whip him up? Our lead trainer here at Movie Torture, MTD. I'll get him. I'll make sure that boy is
Jason-
grateful.
Jason Voorhees.
Oh, we are creating shirts. I've got a logo. You saw the logo in the
I saw
text
the
string.
logo. Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked it. I've got the graphics for Friday the 13th like font, and it says "This man trained Voorhees, MTD on Movie Torture." Boom! I'm gonna iron this on my shirt. It's happening. I'm gonna wear it on here. It's
I
happening.
want it. No, I want one. I'm gonna buy one.
Yeah, buy it. I'm just gonna see if I can make it. I'm just gonna see how it looks, and then we'll decide. But MTD will whip some gratitude in this boy. He'll be like, "I got him. Bring him to me. I got him." I trained Voorhees, boy. I can train you. That's what it's saying. MTD's quiet today. He's not really doing
Yeah,
much
I was
talking.
actually going to say that.
Did he fall asleep? Is he?
Maybe. He went out to go get a car.
He's already picking which weapon he's gonna beat this boy with. It's like, should I use the ball bat or the golf club, Jacob?
All right. We're gonna jump in here.
Yeah, we need to jump. This is
So they get into stealing the cars. They make this master plan. They're stealing vehicles, and they get to this point where they're stealing this car, but they have to take a pause because the makeout scene ensues. I know there's a different makeout scene that Brad's talking about. But we're going to talk about this one. So Nicolas Cage and Anna Jolie, the person Ashley loves,
Angelina.
Angelina is waiting for this guy and girl to start making out so they can steal their Lamborghini.
Oh my gosh!
But
I had
in the
to
meantime-
forward through that because Max was watching it with me. I'm like, you don't
They
need to be seeing this.
They sit there and watch them, number one, which is weird. And then they start making out, which is also weird. They're like, well, if we're just going to watch them make out, how about we make out?
That doesn't work because I would have made out with a lot of chicks back in the day if that was
Just
the
by
case.
watching other people make
Yes,
out.
that would be my move. I'd be like, hey, we're going to go watch people kiss. And then I'd be like, hey, they're kissing. I think you and I should kiss.
Brad, I'd like
It was
talk
was
to
so
you
weird.
more about your kissing, specifically when you were a teenager, because I feel like there's a lot to go through.
That's
Not a lot
that's
to
a,
go through, but a lot to like dig deep.
There's
That's
definitely
his
a
other-
lot to go through. It was
that's
very,
his other podcast.
yeah. Kissing stories with Brad.
Never been kissed by Brad.
My life inspired Drew Barrymore's hit movie, Never Been Kissed.
I love that movie.
It is a good movie. It
That
is
a
funny.
great movie.
But we'll get to Brad's makeout scene because I know which one he's talking about.
Oh
But that
my
one just
God.
weirded me out. Sit there and just watch
Wait,
people.
Should I like watch it really quickly?
The end scene.
It's
or
at the very, very end.
Yeah, it's at the very end. It's at the cookout. Yeah, it's disgusting.
But a really funny scene in this movie. So they have to break into the police lot to get these Mercedes.
Oh
And
my
they
God,
send the little
Sal.
guy in to go knock on the door and basically dressed as a pimp, trying to distract the guard to not pay attention to that they're breaking in here. And he's starting to lose his distraction. So he has the best move to keep this cop distracted. He whips out a Barbie and starts having the Barbie dance on the counter. Is that really going to distract you?
No, I would say this guy's lost his mind.
I'm calling the police.
Yeah. And why is he carrying a Barbie? The bigger question is, why does he have a Barbie
That's
doll with
true
him?
too.
Like, he's got no kids. He's a single dude. I mean, he should be put on the registry for that.
Yeah, that's weird. That's super weird. I also just want to let you both know that when I was in, I believe it was the 6th grade, I dressed up as a pimp for Halloween.
Are there women pimps? Are there women pimps?
Well, they're women
Sure.
pimp costumes.
Oh, okay. See, Ashley, I think this joke would have paid off better had this guy had a kid, had a daughter that he kept playing with the whole movie. Like, you know, like she keeps calling him, and he's like, "Daddy," and he's like, "I'm stealing 50 cars, girl." That would have been
I
funny.
have a
Like,
gift for you. I have a gift. For
yeah, and then he has this Barbie just there, and he's like, "Oh, I got a Barbie." Woo-hoo. That would have been funnier. Him
Right.
just carrying a rando Barbie is weird.
Super weird.
Super weird.
Yeah.
The real
Yeah.
question in this whole movie is how do you handle the dog scene, Brad? Are you
Oh my
walking
gosh.
that dog around? Are you going to pick around in its poop to get those keys?
No, I'm gonna have Ashley
Wait,
do
tell
that.
me, because I missed that part.
Oh,
What
you did?
happened?
Okay, so
Tell me.
they need to. The Mercedes are burnt. They get new keys for the Mercedes. The police figure out that they got these new keys. So Nicolas Cage figures out that the police know that they're about to steal the Mercedes. So he calls everybody off. And they're like, "We have to get these 3 cars because they're big famous signs. They're like 47's not 50." I'm like, okay, we can do math. Great. So they have to. They're like, we still got the old keys of the old Mercedes. Well, in that meantime, the dog eats the keys. So the guy that never talks in the movie, the big tall guy, is getting ready to cut the dog open.
The
And
dog
like,
goes,
no, yeah, they're like, no, you're not going to cut the dog open. So they make them go buy like X-Lax, so the dog poops. And they're walking down the street, and this Mexican gang shows up, and they're like, "Why you on our turf?" With them starting battle with them. Well, the dog finally poops, so he gets excited, runs over, and starts digging through it. They're like, "Oh man, you're sick," and they leave him alone because he's playing in.
but he had the key. He pulled the key.
He's got
and
the
he's
key.
like,
Okay.
But
Was
the
it one key or was it
3.
But were they attached? Or...
No.
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 So here's the thing: I would never, ever, ever harm an animal. No, I'm not slicing up a dog. No, not happening.
I hope not.
I also, the digestive system of a dog is fairly quick. I do believe. I mean, my dog goes 1,000 times a day,
Yeah.
and yeah, I would sift through it if my brother's life depended on it. All right.
That's what I call it. I'm like, we tried, man.
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
know, wash your
Ashley,
hands, get a
if-
manicure.
If we were in this movie, I'd be Ashley. You're gonna dig through that crap. I'm not doing.
I
it."
wouldn't. It's not. I wouldn't choose to do it, but like the stakes are very high.
I
and
don't-
I am not cutting up. I am not doing it.
But
No,
here's
I
the
agree
thing.
with you that. I agree with you that. But I would tell you this right now: if whatever Brad's reason was, would not matter. If I seen him digging in dog poop, I would never let him live that down.
No,
Every
he
day
would.
I remind him.
Dog
Yeah,
poop.
no,
Yeah.
for sure. I wouldn't let myself live it down, and I probably would never like.
Your
touch my
cuticles would be
feet.
Dookie Field.
Well, yeah, you'd have to get like a cleansing manicure.
Oh.
Hands and-
But
I
here's the
don't
thing
know.
that set that up that Jacob was talking about. So they're like, the guy's like, we can use the old key, the old keys, and they're like, that's in the police impound. You saying we can do that? And Nicolas Cage goes, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever. I've been in parking decks. It is so hard to find your way out of a parking deck. Like, there's time you're like, is this the exit? Is it? These people show up at this parking deck and they can just pull these cars straight out. Like, how is this even possible?
Because it's
Like,
a movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's
It's a
so,
movie.
and nobody's
Like when
hearing
they-
the cars crank.
When they go to the Ferrari dealership, and every single Ferrari they need to steal is in the perfect line in the
Go
garage.
out.
They're
Yeah.
like, oh, cool.
And then, Jacob, you brought up a good point. Why are they jacking an Escalade at a
Makes
suburban
no
house?
sense.
Like, you would think they're only jacking like really good car. Like, I mean, not that Escalade's bad.
Escalades are nice cars. It's just it doesn't.
You could
fit.
find one everywhere, though. Why do they have to go in the middle of suburbia to find an Escalade?
Yeah.
I think I figured
Where's
it
the
out.
Rolls Royce.
What was the first year the Escalade hit the market?
Oh, that's a good question.
I have no idea.
The Escalade hit the market in 1999, and this movie was filmed in 99 because it was released in 2000. That's why it's in there, because it's a
Okay.
brand new kind of
It's brand
car.
new.
They wanted to show off that Cadillac. Although
They
to
had
me,
two Cadillacs in there, so their Cadillac was paying some money, but like, hey, make sure our Cadillacs are in there.
Mhm.
yeah, and that's the one
Yeah.
that gets shot up. Like, they shoot this Escalade up,
Yeah.
and they still turn it in. They still put it in there, and the guy
And
gets
they're fine
shot.
with it.
And then we get near the end, and Jacob, let's tell Ashley about the car chase. We got to get into that.
Okay, this is like the best part of the movie you missed is the epic car chase. So he has a car named Eleanor, which is a Ford GT 500 69, and it's like his unicorn because every time he tries to steal this car, something bad happens. So they're on their last car. By this point, the police figure out the list, so they are driving to this car. So as Nicolas Cage is pulling out of the parking lot with this car, they see him, and this epic chase ensues. Now, a synopsis of this, basically they get to the pier and they are flying all over this pier where 15 people should have easily died, as like this cannonball of a propane tank that's like the size of your house is flying around the street, just hitting police cars. There's a part where this big wrecking ball comes in, takes out the driver's side of a police car, sends it through the wall, but yeah, he lives just fine. And and lives just fine. So they're doing all this and causing all this trouble, the cars being trashed. Then he has this epic, the whole movie is set up for this one line for the Gone in 60 Seconds, because he's in the the flood water like reserve where the water goes in California so that everything doesn't flood, I guess, wherever it is. And he's flying, trying to trace the police, and he hits the NOS button, and he's like, he's gone. And that was the big climactic Gone in 60-second scene.
Could he outrun a helicopter? I don't think so.
No, that helicopter's going to go 200 plus miles an hour. He's going 150.
This movie, I would venture to say, this movie launched Fast and the Furious. This was right before Vin Diesel and Paul Walker got together and did their love fest. So
this definitely was a big car movie before that. Yeah.
Yeah, this was like, this was the movie for cars. You got introduced to Nas in this movie.
Yes. And then we get to the epic bridge scene.
Oh my
where
gosh,
there's a big
Ashley,
accident.
Prepare to crap yourself on this one.
Is this the end of the movie?
Yeah, we're
Yes.
getting there. She's like, thankfully, I'm ready to talk about another one.
So they're at the very end of this chase scene. He's got 4 minutes to get to the pier before time is up.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, hold your breath here. There's a giant accident and place all over, so he can't get over the bridge to get to where he's got to drop off this car. And he backs it up. And
Sorry, why does it say that I wrote ha ha ha? That's not
I don't
from
know.
me.
I know. It says me. I says I wrote it. Ha ha ha.
No, it says I wrote it.
Wait, who wrote it?
I
I wrote it. I did.
No. Anyways, so he floors it, and there's a tow truck that has its bed up perfectly. So he jumps this Ford GT 500 off this truck, flies over like 5 ambulances, and comes crashing down on the road. It's insane. The CGI is horrendous.
No damage. Not much.
That car should have fell apart. There was not
It's
much.
just, it's just a normal Tuesday. Okay, so let's.
Basically.
Yeah, it's so
And then he
dumb.
makes it to the dock to turn in the car, And he's like, I asked for 50 cars, not 49 and a half. And then
He's
they
like,
try to
I gave you
negotiate.
that. We'll just take 80,000 off.
That's right.
And then we'll call it a deal. We'll call it a deal. And and the
So
Nick
you
Cage,
take 200, you minus your 80,000, and you got 120. We got a deal.
we got a deal. And he's like, you think I'm going to do that? And then he's like, he tries to kill him, and there's a big fight. And then it's
Okay,
so
he
dumb.
squares up and hits him with brass knuckles. You ain't getting up from that.
No, he's
full-
broke
God.
Nicolas
like cold
Cage's
clocks him
face.
with right.
Yeah, he's gonna be out. Yeah, he's out. But then they get up, they
He's got a
fight.
tiny blade lip.
Yeah, and then the cop shows up, the dumbest cops in the world. They show up, and then he ends up killing this guy, and the guy falls on the coffin he created. Ironic.
Yes.
That's poetic justice. right?
Poetic
Now Brad's
justice.
favorite scene coming up.
Then we get to the cookout. Okay, I feel like this scene was redone in Fast and the Furious with all those like trashy people. They all had their little cookouts together.
Yes.
They're cooking out.
Yeah.
Ashley, imagine movie torture cast is sitting at a picnic table and we're eating burgers.
First of all, I'd love it if we could all have a picnic. But
Oh, I would love that, but you wouldn't love this part. Imagine if MTD is grilling the burgers. Now that would be good. But my wife and I are sitting at the table in front of you guys, and we just start tongue in each other's face, like we're just making out hardcore while you're just having a conversation about, oh, how was your day today? Oh my gosh, we went to see this, went to a soccer game, and my wife and I are just like, we're just making out. Right? It's disgusting watching this. I'm like, who does this in real life? No one.
this is Nicolas Cage and Angelina Jolie.
He just
Yes.
wanted a chance to make out with her. 100%.
Yeah.
That's she is pointless in this movie, Jacob. You do not
really-
need her. They were like, we got to add one girl to this movie or we're going to get no chicks in this crowd at all.
I mean, I still stand by what I said. I think this movie ain't making it without her. I mean, she carried this movie.
But
I'm just-
she literally, this is the first movie in movie torture history. I think MTD's not even on the chat anymore. This is the first movie in movie torture history where there's only one female. No, there was two. There was the old lady who was hooking up with Robert Duvall, but she never said a word. There's and the mom. There's three girls in this movie.
Yeah.
Two old ladies and Angelina Jolie. That's all we've got.
Hmm.
This movie's strictly for dudes.
It
Yeah.
is. Yes.
But dudes that want to watch dudes.
But like you said, there it was no reason for this like Cole that he left her and they rekindle this love relationship. It was
Yeah, that wasn't.
insignificant. It didn't mean nothing.
Yeah, and it wasn't like particularly clear when he enters the bar. Like I could tell just by like knowing the nuances of just like movies and film that that's what they were going to do.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't clear that they had this loving relationship
You're right.
prior to him walking into that.
I thought she was into girls, truthfully. She's like their female who likes females.
Was
Well,
that
she's
the
very
white,
beautiful.
the white dreads?
Yeah, her hair was
No,
disgusting.
that hair was horrible.
Yeah, I did not like that hairstyle at all. Well, she looks you know, she is a beautiful woman, so she looks good with any color hair, I'll say that. But like I didn't like that style.
I know
And I
what
don't wanna
Angelina
watch
Jolie
it.
movie I like. Wanted. Wanted was good.
Wanted is a great movie.
That's a great movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, but
And
what I'm saying is she's in a lot of movies that I do love. I just don't love her. But I
girl,
do think she's beautiful and talented.
Raider?
but
I
I've
didn't
never
like
seen
that.
Tomb Raider.
I
I've
didn't
never
either.
seen
Girl Interrupted, she was good in that. I think she got
Winona
nominated.
Ryder she won the Oscar, Angelina Jolie, but Winona Ryder was incredible in that movie.
She was. That's an old movie.
It is.
MTD.
What is
Have you
it,
ever seen
98?
Girl Interrupted? I'm enjoying MTD's profile picture in the chat. By the way, it's a cat.
It
Is
is.
it?
It's
Oh,
a
it is
cat.
You know,
It's
I
like
love
it's smiling
cats.
at me.
I love cats. I think
Jacob,
cats-
do you got any but before we do this, let's if movie torture was, if we had our cast in this movie, Ashley's definitely Sway. You
Yeah.
have to be at this point.
Which one is Sway?
You're
Angelina
definitely
Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
I mean, sure, I'll do it. I'll take
And-
it.
Brad, I'm sorry, and this is not because of coming at you because of your height. It's because you're the jokester of the group. You're definitely the little.
Oh, I'm the
guy.
pin. Yeah, I'm the guy with the Barbie doll. 100%. And MTD is his partner, the man that never speaks.
Yes,
who-
he's-
No, MTD is the Barbie.
No, MTV's.
MTD, are you going for that? She just called you a Barbie.
No, I know.
I'm
Guess
gonna
who
show
just-
her.
Barbie's
Guess who just
amazing.
dropped in status?
Barbie's amazing.
You're now the fifth lady of movie torture.
No, MTD is definitely Sphinx.
Yeah. Jacob, who are you?
I'm probably like the old bigger black guy that's like doesn't put up with no one's nonsense. When he tries to get carjacked and then he smacks the guy with the door and he's like, get a role model.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Who's John? There's so many people. This movie would be if Hannah has to be in it somewhere. She's the older lady in the movie.
Jonathan, 100%. Jonathan is the dude that gets the Mercedes keys. What's his name?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's Jonathan. That's Jonathan.
Actually, I don't know. Do you have any reviews for this movie?
I can get some very quickly.
And if you're watching online, we're going to be coming back to do another movie right after this one. So we want you to
watch that one too. So
we want you to join us in. We want you to join us as we talk about a comedy that we're going to be doing.
MTD, we are friends. We're best friends.
Oh, MTD's upset now.
No, I didn't mean it. As
You
a
called him
negative
a
thing.
Barbie.
You just called him a Barbie.
He trained
I
Voorhees,
love
not Barbie.
Barbie.
He's
I
not-
love Barbie.
He's not an etiquette coach. He's a killer coach.
I love Barbie.
All right.
Jake,
I got some reviews here.
you're reading some good ones, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Robert Woland, and this is in June 5th of 2024.
Oh, you're reading bad ones, right? Or
No,
good?
this is good. This is good.
Because I have some 5-star Amazons too. I'm gonna read.
Oh, do you? Okay, I can go. You want me to do some bad ones?
Yeah, do some bad
You
ones.
do
And
good ones.
I'm gonna read one. Ashley, this is oh my gosh, man, this is crazy. This is from June 6th, 2024.
Okay.
Which is crazy to me that somebody writes a review on Gone in 60 Seconds 24 years later. He goes, didn't know, Christopher Minnick writes, didn't know they remade this movie. So he's been living his life on the 1972 version. Like this one better. So I'm like, so you have only watched the 72 version and you didn't realize in 2000, 24 years ago, they remade this movie. It's mind-boggling to me.
I mean, in another 5 years, they can just remake it again.
Leo Hott writes, a must-have for serious movie collections. People may wonder why this movie is such a sought-after cult classic. Well, considering almost half this movie is one of the most intense car chases ever caught on film, long before CGI could make it possible to see thousands of pounds of steel fly, flip, and roll. This guy's way too into it, man.
Yeah, he's really into it.
This movie is GOAT.
What?
Greatest of all time.
I know what that means. I'm just wondering.
This is a
why.
must-have. Think about this movie. Think about it. This movie is 98 minutes long. It's way longer than 98 minutes, first off. So let's say it takes 28 minutes to set up the plot and endear you to the anti-hero and his backstory. Add another 30 minutes of car heists and comic relief. So you have a 40-minute real-time car chase. That car chase was not 40 minutes at all.
No, not even close.
No.
It wasn't the 40 minutes that I watched.
Josh wants to know what is on Jacob's background.
My board game posters.
Okay, well, board game posters. Okay, then.
Or it might be.
Okay, that's the
talking about
5-star
the-
reviews. What do you got, Jacob?
All right. A couple 1-star reviews I got here. One is worth watching if only for the scene where Nicolas Cage intensely vibes to Low Rider.
Oh, that was
Which
so
was such
dumb.
a-
He's like,
I hope you know every time me and you go on a road trip now, we are not moving an inch until we listen to that. And then you have to do the finger flip and say, let's ride.
let's ride. I'm going to do that with my, we're doing that, Jacob, from now on. I'm doing that. I'm going to be like, oh.
This one said, Holy heck. I hate this. Not the worst film of the year, as Battlefield Earth still holds the esteemed award, but it's down there. The only exceptional moment is Cage vibing to Lowrider. Man, people really love the Lowrider scene.
That was so dumb to me. That's one of the worst scenes.
Jolie is second billed, but is barely in the film and is really just there to add diversity to the sausage fest.
We said that.
Yeah,
We did.
You know what would have made the lowrider scene better, Jake? It was somebody, because they were just sitting there and listening, dun, 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 and then somebody just went, and that would have been funny, just like lighten the mood with a fart. And it's like, okay, we got you.
That would have been funny.
I'm taking my own car.
Here's one last funny 1-star review from Ed. I hated this. I really, really hated it.
Me too.
Ashley, movie torture, movie gold.
Movie torture.
Oh my God. Jacob, movie torture, movie gold.
This was movie gold. It was fun. It was entertaining.
Who had fun?
It was movie gold.
Josh also wants to know, do we take a lot of road trips together? Yes,
I
where we
would-
live, it's always a road trip everywhere we
It
go.
is. You have no choice.
Jacob is my neighbor, so we ride a lot of places together.
Everything's an hour away.
Everything's an hour away. This movie, hands down, movie gold. Like, it's so dumb. But it's just Nicolas Cage and prime pre-runner Nick Cage. Like, when I'm watching this now, I'm thinking, this is Ashley's friend. This is who she shared the screen with. Like, this is
I
her
mean,
friend.
how can you not appreciate this movie when he busts out that leather suit jacket vest?
There are many ways I could not appreciate this movie.
It's such a grimy, like, dark movie. It's not bright.
Just like
Nothing.
me.
Like, I won't watch this again. I'm done watching it. But for an hour and 58 minutes, which, Josh, if you watch the show, you know I hate movies over 90 minutes.
The next one wasn't over.
Oh no, the next one was perfect. But
It was right on.
Yeah, it was right on. But yeah, movie gold. I don't issue them out much, but this is definitely movie gold. It's got Nick Cage in it, and let's ride. It looks cold where Brad is.
It's not.
I'm just going skiing right after I hang up here, so I'm good. I'm just ready. Like, if my wife's like, "We're going now. Let's go." Definitely, it's a chick flick. What? This is a sausage fest, MTD, for real. There's no chicks in this movie at all. Anyway, we will be back in a second to record another one. Definitely not a chick flick. For Ashley, who hosts Locks of Laughs. Such a great show. If you haven't listened, anybody listening, go listen to Locks of Laughs on the Hostcast Network. Leave her a review and like and subscribe to her show and like and subscribe to our show. Josh is a first-time listener. So,
Welcome, Josh.
Welcome, Josh. You've got,
Wow.
we are only, Josh, we are only about 17 episodes from 100. So you can binge a lot of old shows and learn our humor on there. And we're going to do something really cool for 100. We got to plan that, though, Josh. Yeah. For Jacob, Minnesota Jacob, always fun. My name is Brad. We will see you next time on Movie Torture. Who is the Josh? Do we know this Josh guy?
I don't know.
don't.
I was trying to think.